it seemingly looked like the Canadiens had everything under control. They were up 2-0 in the first period. Everything seemed to be going hunky-dory. Then the Rangers rattled off 4 straight goals. And all of a sudden, the Montreal Canadiens were behind the 8 ball. A goal from Noah Dobson got them to 4-3, but no magic tonight in Cinderella Slipper. Montreal falls for the first time at home 4-3 to the New York Rangers. Let's talk some puck. Hey gang, Costa here from PuckTalk Montreal, welcoming you to this post-game edition for October 18th, 2025. And it's a tale of two different teams, man. It's so frustrating to watch these Canadiens play because they played a good hockey game. You know what they didn't get? You want to guess? You think you know where I'm going with this? Yeah, it was on and off. They didn't get the goaltending they needed from Sam Montembeault. And I've prepared a whole bunch of videos to show you what I'm talking about here so that nobody can turn around and say I'm being too critical of him. There's video proof, and I'll show you, right? But I have to say there were points in the game where he made big saves when he needed to. I'll show you those as well. But the bad outweigh the good as he allowed 4 goals on 22 shots. That's good for an .818 save percentage. That's not NHL worthy. So let's call it what it is. He is not playing well right now. And that's why the Montreal Canadiens dropped this decision. It's not because of anything they did on the defensive side of the puck. Some of the shots, very stoppable, got through Monty. Simple. Let's go to the highlights. Starting with early on, just a minute 33 in. Juraj Slafkovsky scores on a pass from Cole Caulfield. Caulfield up the wing, over to Slav, ding in the net. It's 1-0 Montreal. Very, very simple, very, very clean, very, very easy, very, very early. All the momentum on the Canadian side. You know the Rangers are hurting. So, let's go to the first power play of the game where, guess what? Nick Suzuki finally gets his first goal of the season on a beautiful pass from none other than Ivan Demidov. Onto the stick, in the net. Suzuki's got his first. It's 2-0 Habs. Here it is again. Bang, in the net. There you go. Captain's on the board when it comes to goal scoring. Everything looks like roses. Go about halfway into the game. Mika Zibanejad scores on the power play at 11:56. And it's a pretty good shot here from Zibanejad. Not much that Monty could do on that clapper. I'm not going to criticize that. It's a world-class shot from a world-class player in the top corner. So it's 2-1 after one period. In the second, we saw a scrap. Not going to show that because obviously highlights are highlights. But then in the third period, the Rangers continued scoring. It started with JT Miller taking a shot off the pants in front of the net. This is one of those goals that I'm going to talk about a little bit later. It was a shot. Miller's in front. It hit him in the pants, and he scores. Here it is again, one more time. Oh, nope, I didn't do that because I'm going to talk about it later. My bad. Then it was Robertson's turn, the defenseman, to score from the blue line on a long shot, a little bit of a knuckler, but a stoppable shot, giving him his first NHL goal with 4:11 gone in the third. The puck comes out in front. There's a save by Monty, a good one. And then fast forward, puck off the boards, over to Robertson, clap, and in. And the Rangers have a 3-2 lead. Not a minute 50 later. Time for Artemi Panarin to get his first of the season. This turns out to be the game-winning goal as Zibanejad splits the D, gives it to Panarin, doink, posting in. Again, another one of those goals that Monty can stop. Why? Well, he's off his angle, and he's not out far enough. It's again, we're going to talk about the same things over and over again that I've repeated before. He's done it well sometimes, other times he doesn't. Later in the period, with 8:26 gone in the third period, last goal of the game is on the stick of Noah Dobson. Gets a pass, cross ice, Dobson with a wrister, seeing eye shot in the net. He gets his first as a Montreal Canadien, and the Canadiens have life. Everybody's sitting there, fingers crossed, hoping for more magic. that doesn't come. But the Canadiens did come close as Jonathan Quick made a fantastic save, dragging his right leg, back, making sure that he covered the back post, stopping Cole Caulfield from scoring the tying goal. That's how it ended. 4-3 Rangers. Montreal's wondering what happened. Well, let's see. Before we do that, let's talk about our sponsors, starting with Insta Customs. They are your number one destination for custom apparel printing. Rated the highest print shop in Canada with over 3,000 Google reviews, a 4.9 star rating, and nominated for a 2024 Canadian Business Choice Awards. They print on all your favorite clothing and coffee and travel mugs, and they also offer embroidery. Most orders are printed and shipped the very same day, and large orders in less than 3 days with free shipping. Open 7 days a week, they're located downtown on Stanley Street. Easy to remember because it ties in with the Habs' ultimate goal of winning the Stanley Cup. So whether it's for yourself, your loved ones, or your business, trust Insta Customs. Visit them in person or order online at instacustoms.com. Our other partners are cheapesttshirts.ca. Proudly Canadian and trusted by thousands of customers, cheapesttshirts.ca delivers unbeatable value. With over 1,000 products and more than 36 trusted brands, their selection is limitless. Unmatched, I should say. Cheapesttshirts.ca is the go-to source for businesses, events, apparel printing companies, and resellers, or people just wanting the best deals on everyday clothing. Plus, enjoy free shipping on larger orders and a simple, easy-to-use website that makes ordering online a breeze. Get the cheapest deals in Canada today at cheapesttshirts.ca. So what went wrong for the Canadiens in this hockey game? Well, number one, they allowed the Rangers to believe. We talked yesterday in the preview show about how the Canadiens needed to take away their time and space and forecheck the Rangers hard, whether it was their young defense or whether it was their forwards, like guys like Mika Zibanejad, Artemi Panarin. Don't give them time and space. The Canadiens did not do that. Hence the 4 goals. Special teams, pretty even between these two teams for tonight, so you can't really say anybody really capitalized one way or the other. Key players must deliver. They both on both sides they did. Nick Suzuki and Juraj Slavkovsky for the Montreal Canadiens, Mika Zibanejad, Artemi Panarin, and JT Miller for the Rangers. You also wanted to stay disciplined and limit turnovers. Done. No issue there. Where's the one thing that cost the Montreal Canadiens the game, you say? Yep, you guessed it. The goaltending battle. Pointed out as point number 2 about the Canadiens winning the hockey game, Sam Montembeault needed to be better than either Igor Shesterkin or Jonathan Quick. And it was all about one particular sentence that I put out there where I said the Habs need strong rebound control to avoid getting beat on lateral plays or screen shots, a Rangers specialty. Well, guess what, gang? It happened more than once. But you got to give Monty credit because he did battle. You saw it prior to the Robertson goal. He made a massive save in front. He also made good saves during the hockey game. Here's one of them on Mika Zibanejad down low. Zibanejad gets the puck here in front, gets it back, fires a shot, save made. So you got to give him credit. There's a good kick save, and then move forward. Here's a Zibanejad chance. Off the leg of Matheson, in front, Zibanejad gets a shot, and Monty makes a save. He had his good moments. Then you've got this particular instance where he takes a rebound from a shot and deadens it and moves it to the behind the goal line. That is perfect rebound control for a goaltender. There's no argument to be had. Perfect technique. Everything's fine and dandy, right? Then you get the ugly of Sam Montembeault. Like this, where you take a look, gets a drop pass, and the rebound right there. If Hudson wasn't there, Rempe had an open net to shoot at because the rebound just sat there at the side of the net because Monty did not get all of that shot. That's some bad rebound control right there. Then here's another example. And I want you to tell me exactly why he lets this rebound out right off the faceoff. Watch this closely, right? Faceoff, it comes right to him. He kicks it out, and now he stands there. And then another chance off the post. It could have cost the Canadiens another goal. It all comes down to rebound control. I've talked about this time and time again. Now, I don't remember whether or not I actually added the graphics here. Let me see. Nope, I did not. Damn it. Well, let me say this. There are 2 instances in this hockey game where Sam Montembeault did not do his job properly. On the JT Miller goal, if you watch very carefully, He starts off extremely well, standing behind, I believe it was Alexis Lafreniere and JT Miller, looking above them to try to see where the puck is. The minute he felt the shot was coming from the point, he backed away from the two players, was in the middle of the crease as opposed to the top of the crease. The puck hit Miller and went in. As a goaltender, immediately you're taught one thing when you've got somebody in front of you screening: stay as close to him as possible. Why? Because if you don't and he does deflect the puck, it's going to end up in the back of the net. That's exactly what happened here with JT Miller. Hit him in the pants, went up and over Monty and into the net. If he's right up against him and he's not 3 feet back, he stops the puck. It's as simple as that. And those are the mistakes that are forcing Monty to allow 3-4 shots in per game. He's not playing poorly. He's just not playing well in certain circumstances. Last season, he was getting lucky. This season, not so much. And luck has a lot to do with goaltending. Don't get me wrong. Pucks that hit the post, they say, it's because you're covering your angle. Sometimes you just need to be lucky to be good. And so that's the ugly part about this hockey game. It's Sam Montembeault not making key saves when he needed to. That long shot from Robertson that was dipping down, he was and ducked in the far side. Monty was never set for the shot. He was sliding across his crease laterally instead of, as I've mentioned previously, coming out diagonally and trying to take away some of the angle from distance and telescoping. He didn't do it. Instead, he stayed deep in his crease, shifted flat, and what happened as he slid across, the puck followed him and went in. If he was out, the puck hits him. It's physics. It's proportion. Here, not so much. Here, it'll hit me. So Monty's got to learn to play at the top of his crease more, because when he does, he's really effective. Really, really effective. I will never argue that point. But when he plays back in his net, when he's a foot off the goal line, for a guy who's 6'2", I think he is, or 6'3", he plays really small when he's back in his net, especially given the fact that he likes to be on his knees quite a bit. If he were more of a stand-up goalie, maybe it doesn't factor in as much. But because he's down and he depends on his butterfly to make a lot of saves, he needs to be at the top of that crease as much as possible. He's got to learn to move back and forth, post to top of crease all the time. Stay in perpetual movement. Goaltending is not a lazy position. Not to mention that you get breaks when the puck's in the offensive zone. So, take advantage of those breaks, move when you have to move, get into position when you need to get in position, and that's it. And Monty will be a 9-10, 9-20 goaltender. It's a small adjustment to make. That and the fact that he really, really, really needs to pay attention to his rebounds. Off that face-off, that puck should have been smothered the minute it got to him. He took the shot. The guy took the shot. The puck was right down in front of him. Instead of just jumping on it and getting a whistle and getting another face-off, he pushes it out, forcing his defense to make plays. You are not gaining favor with your defenseman when you do that. One of the other reasons the Canadiens didn't win tonight is the fact that all the injuries. And I'm not going to say it's because of the injury to Kirby Dach or Patrick Laine, although both of those guys were playing well in their own zone. But it's a huge loss when you don't have Caden Gooley on the back end for the Montreal Canadiens. He's a very stable presence defensively. He would have needed to be out there to be more of a physical presence against some of the smaller forwards that the Rangers have. He wasn't there. The Canadiens still did very well. They played a good hockey game. The problem is, though, as I mentioned, beginning of the season, if you want to get off to a good start, what do you need? You need to win more games by 3 goals or less. The Montreal Canadiens have not gotten that goaltending from Monty yet. They need that. They've gotten it from Dobesh. He's won. It's simple math, guys. The Canadiens can score 3 goals a game on average. I have no doubt. But the need to score 4 and 5 when your goalie is unable to, be clutch when he needs to be, it's tough to win hockey games at that point. And the biggest part about it is that it deflates your team when you think your goalie is, he starts off the game playing well, and then all of a sudden he just tails off. It's about consistency. If Monty was consistent, hey man, nobody would argue a thing. But he's got these ebbs and flows in his game. And right now, the way he's playing, the rosters for Team Canada are coming out soon. I guarantee you, somebody, Doug Armstrong especially, is going to be looking at the way he's playing right now and saying, guys, no, he's not our third stringer. We got to bring somebody else. Because if they do bring Monty as the third string goaltender, something's up. Something's definitely up because he doesn't deserve to be there right now. There are other goaltenders that do, who are Canadian, that should be there ahead of him. But, it is what it is, right? Everybody's got a love affair for Sam Montembeault. I don't hate the guy. I just want to see him be more consistent, honestly. Now, looking at the Montreal Canadiens and how things fared tonight, you saw a lot of good things. Ivan Demidov hitting Jonathan Quick in the forehead with a shot, setting up the Suzuki goal on the power play. You saw Slafkovsky score on a pass from Cole Caulfield. You saw Noah Dobson getting his first goal of the season. There was a lot of good in this hockey game. The Canadiens, despite the fact that they only had 24 shots on goal, generated some good quality chances. On some occasions, Jonathan Quick was making saves. Even at his age, he's still a very effective goaltender. And the tandem that New York has, they should be winning more hockey games than they lose. This is one of those games that, given the Canadiens' strengths, they should have been able to win it. But, as I said, they were let down by one of the 6 points that I pointed out. You're going to lose hockey games when that happens. Whenever you give a preview of a game, right, and you point out what a team needs to do to win, it's not you need to do 1, 3, 4, and 6. 1 through 6 need to be done. And the minute one of them is not, it's tough. The Canadiens fed off the home team energy, that's for sure. Scoring 2 quick goals early in the first period. And, as Ted Bird always used to say, he calls it the dreaded 2-goal lead. Well, the Canadiens had that dreaded 2-goal lead, and it evaporated rather quickly between the first and third period. And then after that, it was all Rangers. And that's unfortunate. The Rangers got the best of Montreal goaltenders. The Canadiens had chances, good chances. Jonathan Quick made saves when he needed to, after allowing 2 early goals. So what's next for Montreal? Well, we'll see how it goes before their game on, I believe it's Monday, against the Buffalo Sabres. We'll get an injury report, and tomorrow we'll talk a little bit about some news about the Montreal Canadiens, including some talks they've been having with a couple of players around the National Hockey League. That and more coming up. Thank you to our sponsors once again. cheapesttshirts.ca and instacustoms.com. Thank you for watching. Make sure you hit that thumbs up, like the videos, subscribe if you haven't already, and join the party as we're well over 3,000 subscribers now. Thank you very much. We'll talk tomorrow.